بالله السميع الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome all of you wherever you are. I welcome you again with the second part of Fatwa Life that comes to you today, Monday, the 5th day of Dhul Qa'dah. The first question about the doubtful that a lot of ignorant people are keeping about the marriage of the Prophet ﷺ to Aisha, and she was still a child, and they keep how could they have older man with a child? The answer, first of all, he alayhi salatu wasalam was not the first one to engage. She was engaged to Jubayr ibn al-Mut'am, which showed that that was the culture of that time. And this is something that was quite common at that time. And it's not the action of the Prophet ﷺ was something unique, but it was precise that she was engaged to someone else before him. And what is known that the getting to maturity is in the hot areas is faster than others. And he alayhi salatu wassalam, we could say, from the that you make a judgment away from the time and the place and the condition of that environment. How could you talk about something after 1,400 years and they don't take in consideration the time, the culture, and they're saying that is something that is weird or unique. And it's a marriage that is happening right now where a woman don't even get married except after she's 25 or more, where she could use sex with anybody after 10 and don't see anything wrong with that. When we talk about marriage, which is legitimate relationship between a man and woman, they turn things around. And Quraysh, do you think that if what he did wrong, don't you think that disbelievers of Quraysh would have used it against him? And they never even said anything about that. Those who want to kill him, who want to kill his message, who wants to put doubts in people, and Allah said they are the one, they are staying away from him and they keep people away. And they want a mistake that he will make so they could use it against him. And subhanAllah. So if it was wrong, he would have been criticized by Quraysh. But it was something that is natural from a social point at that time. And the evidence on this, there's Quraysh that accepted this. And with the concern that try to attack him any way they can. And they come with lies or accusation that he is a poet or he is crazy, and Allah protects from all of this. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, she had a good youth. When she was the most knowledgeable, that she became a woman, she said, if a girl, she is 9 years old, she is a woman. Abdul Muttalib, he is the grandfather of the Prophet ﷺ. So we can stress of the standards of that era. He married a young woman. She is the cousin of Amina, and no one said why he married a very young woman, uh, you don't talk about the incident without, I mean, taking the time and the place out of context. That's falsifying the history, falsifying wrong. They're just trying to accuse the great people and put lies in there. Abdul Muttalib, he married Hala, the cousin of Amina, at the same day that Abdullah married his youngest son of Amina, the daughter of Wahab. So it's wrong to take the incidents out of context without looking at the society, the time, and the place. This is for the first question. The second question, and ask Allah Azza wa Jal the success. It says he's from Michigan, one of the Imams in Michigan. He said, what is the rule about contracting an institution that specialize in fundraising from distance areas where we can't reach? If the other party, whether it's one or two, to gain 30% of whatever he's collecting or she's collecting or that institution is collecting. So to specify 30% of whatever they collect, it goes to the person who is doing it, and the rest goes to that Islamic center. The answer, from the principle, there is nothing wrong in the principle. Look about the accuracy of this statement. There is nothing wrong with putting a percentage of the donations for those who are working on collecting that fund, because it is one of the parts that Allah put in the charity. After knowing there is no others who will do that as volunteers. However, but it has to be in goodness. It has to be something in goodness. Those who take that money, he takes from the money of the orphans and the needy. And whomever, Allah said, whomever is rich, let him be have chastity, and those who are poor, let him take in goodness. Omar used to say, me and your money, just like the person who's taking care of the orphans. If I don't need, I won't take. And if I have people, I'll take only what's limited I can. And was said Abu Bakr, when he was given money to be enough for him, it was very minor. He went to his house crying, and he is the merchant who was rich, who bought a lot of free slaves to save them from being weak in Mecca. They told him, why you're crying? He said, oh my sons, yesterday I used to spend from my own money. Today I'm spending from the money of the orphans and the needy and the poor. And before his death, he said, oh Muslims, my land that in this area and that area, it is for Muslims from what I took of their money. And I wish I will get out of nothing. I have nothing against me or for me. About a big in goodness. Very important to understand what is an in goodness mean. So, but that money will be a percentage for those who work on it, from the principle, it is accepted. And it's very clear. However, some of the scholars, they said it has to be from who was uh, directed from people, but there is uh, no government outside Muslim countries. So the Islamic centers is like representative of the Islamic um arbitrators. And this matter was discussed in the 10th conference for Islamic conference in Mecca, and they had from the international relief is this with the people who are working in non-profit. They get percentage so they could work. The decision there is nothing wrong of taking a percentage that's specified, but they said it's not should be specified. It will be the equivalent of example, and you do depends on um, their effort and their work, because this money it is for the needy and the people who are in deep need. So the person need to be described in a way. But those who work on it, he give them from what they do. After, so you could take it from the cab after knowing there's nobody who could volunteer that time. But it's very important to add one thing. That should be declared on people. So there'll be transparency and to show for bring more volunteers. Like it will be declared that this money we're gonna take this percentage for those who work on it. This person, the person who is given, he knows that there's 20 or 30 cents is gonna go for those who are working on it. Because some of the knowledge people, they said the knowledge and their permission is to allow this type of thing. And the fatwa of the permanent that those who collect the money they cannot be given their employees or those who collected from the donators because they did it so they could reach to those who needs it. So they are representative of the donors to deliver the money to whomever it is specified for. So it cannot be except for what he is permitted. So we have to tell them so he could give it to us that we can do that. What is meant in here? This matter has to be so many uh, guard issues and not to abuse people's money. This is the money of the poor and the needy. So we are trusted to take it to those who need. And sometimes there will be a lot of expenditure in the salaries and the expenditure as if we are not in the unit of Harosh. This is not expected and should not. So in summary, for those who ask this question, that percentage that is mentioned is too harsh, too much. I don't forbid what Allah has permitted. I'm just saying, as Allah said, advise them and tell them from themselves something is going to, and I have given an advice, and I hope I have seen something that is very detailed, and for to understand what I just said. Someone cursed a famous Muslim because they had donated for that where they collected money for the occupiers. This person he apologized that they how do you get out of this problem? First of all, we say to the person who asked, don't rush, do not rush. It's very important to be calm. So you have to verify what is delivered to you in news. The too many stations could will say that there is a bunch of lies. This abundance of satellite places is an indication of how wide the lies is spread. And there is some who are specialized in lying. And they come with voices that you feel in the. It's so truthful, but it is all lies. It's fake, and I don't know how they could do that. And the believer could be miser or coward, but he cannot be a liar. A Muslim should not ever be a liar. So verify what is give it to you with news. Don't think Google or others are very trustworthy areas. No, you have to verify before you fall in the traps of others with unjustly. This is first of all. Second of all, the ignorance is an excuse because you've done that out of ignorance. They thought this person he became disbeliever, so he went to Allah and he freed himself from that aggression. But this has nothing to do with his marriage. Then I say that marriage does not get void with reverting, but to insist on it and to die on it. So those who die and they are disbelievers. It's not going to void unless it is before the intercourse. After that course, they said, "Oh, he's not." They said they are even a Jew, Christian, so it will be frozen. If he repented during Iddah, then they're still on their own. They don't need a new contract because the Prophet ﷺ did not ask those who reverted from Islam to uh, do that. But if the time of the Iddah is they start insisting on it, then it's voided, and they need to put the legal part of it. So the woman can get married to whomever she wants. So the I mean, I work in the women's club and I wear clothes. I'm not naked. As, that there is a man who became a woman. What is the what is the rule about the wearing? Those who change from men to women, they have the rule of those who follows, because it means he took out all the manhood from his body. So he's not among those who could do anything. And those who were an exception, because Allah said, and the Maharim from the exception on the and that was mentioned the Arba. So it seems like it is open, and the best thing to guard yourself. But as far as about the rule, according to فقط they take the rule of those who follow, because those change, they have taken all the manhood from their bodies, and the only thing left is nothing for them to look at the woman. I used to wake up for the prayers as soon as the iqamah. Said somebody said no, don't until you hear قد أقام الصلاة. No, that's not true. Some people are heavy. Don't hold something that is white. Stand up from the beginning, the middle. It's up to you. How about changing the gray to black? It is to put black. No, you could do it with any other color but black. What is the rule about working as an Uber driver? If more than one woman they do or more, do I need to know where they're going or just go? And what is the work as a programmer in a company like Uber? Well, just like any other work, as long as the beginning of it is allowed. Getting a woman, what do you want me to say? If it is one time at night, so this is to isolation is closer. The the taxi is not an isolation because in middle of the day is not an isolation. But whomever sat with her in the middle of the night, you get one at 1 o'clock, and you have to go to the freeway. That is very good installation, especially at night. So that situation is not all one. You have to look at each incident by itself. However, do your best. Do not hesitate. Don't be among those places that are forbidden. Don't go to the place called the Haram and say that I know there's some righteous people. Do have to count the money out of monthly payment after retirement. You're talking about the zakah of retirement. I could take it, but I don't take it because for uh, retirement. I'm glad that you added this part. So listen to me. To have the zakah, you have to have complete control, and to be able to hold that money, and to be able to use it. If the money, if you are safe from touching it, you cannot get it except the dowry that is the deferred, that it has to be with one of the two, either the faces or. But to enter, you can say, I might be able to take that money, but to do it as that is a zakat time. I will talk to you about the matter We're talking about all retirement in the West. If you are from the East, ask the people from the East. But look at our reading of this issue for the money that you have to pay zakah in the retirement area, whether it is money in companies, and not all of it is zakah. Some that are principal, so there is no zakah, and some that grows, then it is a place, like a factory. The tools are not part of zakah, so because the literal not merchandise is not the you use that to produce a product that you after you produce it. So we have money that is steady, that is not to zaki, and there's what is done to intention of making money. So our reading to the companies, it shows that the money that it grows is the one third of the value of. So it's not in all the money. One third and thirds only. This is what's going to show the money that you base account. But the other two thirds, these are principles that are not zakah. Take this one, apply it. The Holden has with women, it is originally it should be not to do that. And the fiqh and sharia, we have a decision is to prevent, not because it is not the intention. And anything beyond that, it is uh, permissible. Don't raise your hand to a woman. And no, originally, you don't even touch the woman. Because so it could be the fourth time. So if you felt accused to and somebody put their hand, no, ask Allah's forgiveness. But no, originally is to protect yourself, to stop. If it happened in one area, hopefully you have the exception. But you need to ask Allah's forgiveness. Someone, we live in the West. Some of them guy came in. He said he used to work with the government that worked with the United States before, and he's asking people about their own documents, and they avoid him. How do we deal with him? You have to look at the people who make the decisions in your masjid. You know who comes to your masjid. The rule, he alayhi salatu wasalam, he used to be careful without telling them, without get someone out. So collect what you can, or, or from his previous work, and whatever you have of information, then you could come with the right decision. Is celebrating the anniversary with my wife, is that innovation? If became, if it is something not personal, and not to make it like a family or to bring a gift, there is nothing wrong. But the general one, the Fitr and Adha, and what is get with something else. He brought in the worship what he is not. So, so it doesn't become like a big celebration for people, or you invite people to it. So of Ibn Baz, he forbid the slaughtering of those who do not pray. How do I ask? Well, this is to look at those who leave their prayers, because those who did, he is disobedient but not a disbeliever, unless the intention is different and there's a reason. Whomever you think is forbidden, then he should not eat their dhabiha. This is what we know. May Allah have the Sheikh bin Baz. So we hope he, inshallah, in Jannah. With this, we come to the conclusion. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.